Okay, guys, I wanted to come on here and read you a short article. Forgive my speech. I'm in excruciating pain. They laser burned off the whole roof of my mouth, the skin. It's literally hanging and dangling off of the roof of my mouth. So bear with me, but this is important. Remember, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you watched it, but my last video with the emergency blanket over my head, I said the blobs are getting bigger. Those are plasma blobs. And if you don't know what plasma is, it's because they hide the truth from us. Because in school we all learned about the states of matter, right? Solid, liquid, gas. Well, plasma is the fourth one. Sorry, did you hear those clicks? They're hitting the table right by my arm and it was shocking me. What was I saying? Sorry, I'm so tired. Plasma, they don't tell us about plasma because they just want us stupid. And let's just say we are stupid. We're by design I hate the word stupid because we're not stupid people. They brainwash the shit out of us. They keep information from us and anyways, my point is that's plasma. And the attacks are worse because they've amped up the power on these lasers that they project the plasma balls. That's the energy directed by the weapon, which is the laser. That's how they direct it to specific spots. It's how they're burning the teeth out of my mouth. It's how my teeth are melting out. That's why I have bruises and cuts. It's how they punch me. They throw these plasma balls so hard. It punches you, and they can dial the temperature up and down. They can dial the plasma balls up and down as far as how many electrons are there. So it's how big or small it is. That's why before it sounded like little tiny raindrops because they were tiny, tiny plasma balls. Now they're huge blobs, which means there's tons of power. Electron power in those. And that's why they leave bruises, because it's literally balls of energy punching you. That's how they cut you too. You have scrapes and cuts and burns. It's from these lasers and plasma. They're hot, and they can go through fabric. They can go through basically any solid, because they're so powerful that it just splits all the atoms in whatever solid substance is around you, and the laser goes right through it. You can't see them because they're in non-visible light. But they're usually in the ultraviolet or infrared range, and so that's why our cameras can pick them up, which I posted a video that I was filming one of these plasma orbs flying around. And you can see the laser beam shining down from the sky. It's in my post section. You can see that picture. But anyways, I want to read you this. I hope I explained that well enough to preface this article. This article is dated July 19th, 2019. I also want you to remember that when the military releases information about any weapons that they're, quote, testing, it means they've been in testing for decades, and they've been in use for decades because of, quote, national security. Okay, I think I can get through this. It shouldn't take long. Let me get water. They're hitting my throat too, and it dries it out. If you hear cracking and popping and snapping, they're hitting all around me. If I burp or my teeth slam together, it's because they're attacking my head and jaw, and I apologize. All right, the heading is Pentagon scientists are making talking plasma laser balls for use as non-lethal weapons. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it's not. They exist and they're real. Okay, and the quote. I'm not going to quote. This is just the beginning of the article. It says, instead of beaming a flashing light or shouting over a loudspeaker to keep people away from sensitive areas, new technology being developed could allow troops to fire a laser that can form a plasma ball that talks to potential intruders. The Laser-Induced Plasma Effect Program is part of the Joint Non-Lethal Weapons Directorate program to find ways to deter, stun, and basically stop adversaries short of killing them. Does it sound familiar? Use of directed energy or lasers includes heating up a target's skin to extremely uncomfortable levels without burning them. Well, with me, they burn my skin off. Okay, continuing. Blasting confusing noises or giving voice commands such as, quote, stop or we'll be forced to fire upon you. It can pass through glass into a building but not yet penetrate other solid barriers. That's a lie. So in its initial stages, the technology would be best used to project static areas such as forward bases and permanent installations. But with the right power source setup, a device could be mounted to a small vehicle and make for mobile crowd control or another tool for vehicle patrols to keep people away from convoys. Researchers such as Brittany Lynn, it's always some bitch named Brittany, isn't it? A scientist with Naval Information Warfare Center Pacific are fine-tuning how to pass sound waves through the laser. And they recently completed another round of testing in June. Part of that involves tweaking algorithms to create human speech in the right wavelengths. The next step, said Dave Law, a chief scientist with the directorate, is to push distances out of short range of a laboratory setting to 100 meters and then to multiple kilometers. Dave Law, gave an optimistic timeline of about 5 years before the tech could be through readiness levels and passed on to troops. This past year, Lynn told Military Times, that's this magazine, they've been adjusting high and low frequencies to mimic human speech. Early speech mimicking this year has proved a boost to the program that Law sees as promising. That's because once that is solved, the distance problem is much less difficult. Law says, quote, now I can put it anywhere. Range doesn't make any difference. He said in an interview with Military Times last year, quote, but plasma at a target modulate. Sorry, I messed that up. His quote says, put plasma at a target modulate and it can create a voice. At the same time, the setup can also act as a reusable flashbang that can pulse 155 decibel frequencies near continuously as compared to a standard flashbang grenades that can make one, sometimes two loud blasts to disorient people. In other words, they've figured out how to put sound waves in these to mess with your ears. Like I complain a lot of my ear bones getting rattled. They're putting this sound in these plasma balls and they point the laser at your ear and shoot those decibels at your ear, which makes your ear bones bang around and then you get dizzy and nauseous. back to the article. That increases tactics, techniques, and procedures use of flashbangs from seconds to minutes, meaning that instead of using regular flashbangs, like you throw a grenade, boom, these lasers can just fire flashbang sounds and the look of a flashbang just continuously with the right power source. For voice commands, the quality doesn't have to be crystal clear to get the message across, Lynn said. A mobile phone speaker runs at about 8 kilohertz, and the human voice ranges from 20 kilohertz. So there's leeway in the fidelity of the sound. The laser causes a similar effect that a jet airplane does when it creates a sonic boom, and both Law and Lynn said. We're doing the same thing, but instead of doing an airplane, we have those electrons, which is the plasma. The hurdle is creating the effect in a portable 5 to 10 kilohertz laser, Lynn said. The laser strips away electrons and creates a white ball. That's what the recipients would see or feel on the other end of the laser device. The skin heating option, notice they say option here, so they have several options. They can dial these lasers to do a lot of things. The skin heating option works in a very similar way, but to a different effect. The laser-induced plasma weapon uses a very high energy lasers at very short pulse rate to strip the electrons off of a gas creating plasma. Then it's used to poke through clothing and drill smaller than microscopic holes in a person's skin. The drilling doesn't cause damage, but it does set off nerve responses, making the person very uncomfortable. Quote, "It's basically going to hurt," unquote, Law said. Past efforts hit some of the objectives, but couldn't quite get the voice commands to work, according to a posting on the Small Business Innovation Research Program. That's from a current request by the Marine Corps for a scalable, compact, ultra-short pulse laser system. And that's the end of the article. So basically they put sound waves in these plasma balls and use lasers to direct these plasma balls and fire them, and the sound bursts out of the plasma balls. Like they'll shoot it at, they can shoot it at a person and the plasma ball will break and the sound comes out. Or the plasma ball will dissipate, the sound comes out, and a person will hear someone talking. That's literally a thing. And this was already 7 years ago. This is KG. Talk to you later.